Hello, greetings. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call the regular meeting of the Salta School District Board of Trustees to order. A recording and our broadcast of this meeting is being made at the direction of the board, which may capture images and sounds of those attending the meeting. If technical difficulties occur or persist, the meeting will continue without broadcasting. I'll now call the roll. Brian?
Present.
Stella?
Here.
Jim?
Here.
Brandon?
Here.
And I, Shelley Sirkin, here as well. I intend students will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Would any board members like to provide comment on tonight's agenda? Seeing none, we have a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
So moved.
Thank you, Stella. We have a second.
I'll second.
Thank you, Jim. Motion to approve tonight's agenda as presented was made by Stella, seconded by Jim. All in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Thank you. Motion passes unanimously. Closed session report. No action was taken in closed session tonight. Superintendent's update.
Yes, a few things tonight. We are celebrating teacher and staff appreciation right now. So we've made our way around a few schools, more to go, with a little ice cream fun. It's been really great to connect with people and just let them know how much we appreciate their hard work as we close out this particular school year. And I did include in your last weekly update, I hope you will be able to join us on the 13th in the afternoon at 3:45 at Egan, where we will be celebrating our teacher and employee of the year. It's a great time where we recognize the folks selected by their peers across all 9 schools and our district office team as well. So that's a really fun event. If you can make it, we'd love to see you there. I did want to share that I had a meeting with Maureen Israel last week, and then who's the executive director of Herbalist Charter School. Then Shelley, Stella, and I met with their team to discuss future facility needs, and we appreciate that collaboration that is ongoing with them. Concerts begin this week. I believe Thursday night we have Block, and Friday at 1 we have Santa Rita. So any concerts you're able to attend over the next 3 weeks, they happen, it feels like almost every day. That is much appreciated. And I know our kids have been, our 5th and 6th graders and 4th graders have been working hard to prepare for their spring concert. And it's an amazing time. If you haven't had the opportunity to attend a junior high concert, it's amazing just the difference in the growth that you see in students. It's really fun. Really fun. It is hiring season right now. Want to thank Dr. Rogers back there and her team. We've had principals, but we are deep into hiring. We've hired lots of folks for next year and have just a couple of targeted openings happening right now. So that's a fun time. And we love welcoming new staff members and getting them acclimated to LASD. And then lastly, just wanted to share that we just completed our very first ever trial enrollment exchange for 7th graders for next year. So we sent out a notice to all current 6th graders and pre-registered 7th graders for next year who are out of the district to let them know of an opportunity where we're matching 1-for-1. If you were assigned to go to Block and you'd like to go to Egan, we'll find someone who's assigned to Egan who wants to go to Block. We'll match and go. We had just about, I can't remember, 15 or 16 folks who want to swap. So they will find out tomorrow. Spoiler alert, they're all going to be granted their exchange. So that's exciting. Yeah, so it's great. That's it for me tonight.
Thank you. All righty. On to literally the best part of this meeting, our school presentations. And tonight we have Oak.
Yeah, thank you so much for inviting Oak. And as usual, we have students who are going to be presenting Today we have Miss Julia Pressman, sixth grade class, and I'm gonna turn it over to them.
I'm really gonna let them do most of the talking. This is an idea and a project that came from them, from an issue that they were experiencing in our class. And so they're gonna tell you about the process, how we kind of worked through it. But this is, I just wanna let you know, this is driven by them, something that they were experiencing that they wanted to change in the room. So I'm gonna let them take it away. Before I do, I'm thinking maybe you can sit in the front just for ease of transition between slides. That way. So right there.
And introduce themselves with the minutes.
They got that planned into this is all that, they've already scheduled that into their notes, so. Yeah, I think who's going up first?
Hi, my name is Elodie and I go to sixth grade at Oak. We use privacy boards when we have tests, which are quite often. These are trifold-like items that prevent us from copying off of our peers. These privacies were fine and in perfect condition before, with no writing or holes. This was great because we could focus on our tests without any distractions.
Hi, my name is Trinity and I'm also a sixth grader. But after a while, the privacy boards were getting destructive. It was easy to notice because some students poked holes on the boards. It was distracting because we couldn't focus on the vandalized privacy boards while working hard during a test. It first started with holes and then other things.
Hi there, my name is Suraj. Students initially use privacy boards in a supportive and appropriate way, leaving brief encouraging message such as "You got this" to motivate peers who would later use the boards during testing periods. Over time, some students shifted away from the intended use by adding unrelated markings such as random numbers or doodles, while others caused minor damage by poking holes or altering the surface of the boards. These changes led to an increase in distractions during testing. Messages unrelated to the task, such as "I was here" and visible board damage, drew attention away from assessments and reduced the effectiveness of the boards as a focus tool.
Hello, my name is Arabella and I'm a sixth grader. We started off by using the design thinking protocol. We came up with many great ideas. For example, painting all the privacy boards one solid color, getting a whole new set, or just erasing the pencil marks and patching up the privacy boards. We eventually came to a consensus on one idea. That idea was to intentionally beautify the privacy boards and add inspirational and motivational sayings to them. This strategy will be used to deter away any vandalism. In Arizona, they had a similar idea. When I went on a trip to Scottsdale, Arizona, I learned that the bridges and underpasses had artwork on them designed by Native Americans. Because they were designed to be intentionally beautiful, this deterred away any vandalism from the bridges and underpasses. Also, by using this strategy, we will be able to give a second life to our classroom materials. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Audrey and I'm a sixth grade student at Oak. We began to brainstorm designs and ideas on what we could write or draw on the privacy boards, and we came up with encouraging phrases, designs, and the best ways to paint and create our designs so they would turn out well. Then we tested different materials to see which ones worked best for the privacy boards. In these pictures, we're testing paint and different designs on pieces of cardboard like flowers and solid colors.
Hello, my name is Soren and I'm a sixth grader at Oak.
My name is Zach and I'm also a sixth grader at Oak.
We collaborated with our second grade buddies to think of some encouraging messages and designs to put on the privacy boards. Each one of us partnered with one of the second graders and drew and wrote some encouraging messages on pieces of paper, as you can see on the.
Some of us wrote encouraging words and messages like "You got this," "I believe in you," or "Trust your gut." And then some other people drew some drawings like rainbows, characters, and different foods. And after our meeting with our buddies, We are completely full of new ideas that we could share and draw on privacy boards.
Hi, I'm Anjali, a sixth grader at Oak. After collaborating with our secondary buddies, we came together and realized some pros and cons about the pictures we drew for the privacy boards. The first pro is that the drawings were cute and adorable because they were colorful and had many characters. Another pro is that there was more creativity. The pictures varied because our buddies helped us to generate ideas. Next, the cons. The first one is that the drawings might not age well. This means that in the future, the cute and adorable pictures will look outdated. The second one is that the drawings would turn out to be distracting. When we imagine taking tests with the drawings, students would probably look at the pictures instead of doing the test. The third one is that there would be less focus on tests. If we ended up putting these cute pictures on the privacy boards, it would look too busy and detailed. The cons outweighed the pros, so as a group, we decided to change direction.
Hi, my name is Deanna and I'm a sixth grader at Oak. After realizing the disadvantages of our first design, we returned to the drawing board. We put our heads together and after another brainstorming session, we pivoted to a beautiful but simple design. We switched to a simple gradient in the background of 2 to 3 colors. On top of that, there would be a motivational phrase such as trust your gut or you got this. We then coated the board in Mod Podge to prevent healing and aging, which also made vandalism possible. Throughout this project, there was much planning, pivoting, and learning. We learned how to identify a problem in our community and how to solve it in a way that would work for our class. We learned that solutions don't need to be fancy and flashy to meet our needs. And we learned how to pivot and how to rethink our solutions when roadblocks came up. Thank you.
I was just whispering to Jim, I want one. That was I know. That was wonderful. Board members, any comments, any questions?
But it's turned out really nice. And I like that you worked with your second grade buddies on it and
Yeah.
like made it a bigger project than just yourselves.
Yeah,
Right.
I wasn't sure where you were going with this, and like, not you, but like the kid, it turned out really
Yeah,
beautifully.
they turned out great.
Yeah, and I love, like you said, how they integrated their second grade buddies. Did you guys, like, what would you say you learned through this process, including like working with your buddies, the whole process, like a little bit of like, what did you learn about the design thinking process?
Like how to work together as a whole community to solve problems.
Nice.
I learned how to pivot and improvise.
It's a good life.
I learned how to, like, when you see a problem and you notice that it's happening a lot, you should try to fix it before it gets worse.
I learned that, like, even though you might have a good idea, there's always trial and error, so you're probably not gonna get it right the first time.
You got the last word.
We learned how to pivot and reevaluate our decisions to make a better design.
I love it. I love how like your thinking has gotten so flexible. You know, talk about 21st, 22nd century,
Sure.
still learning.
Yeah.
Century.
Still in the 21st.
Seriously, 21st.
Well into it, but we're there.
AI's got nothing on you. No, wonderful. Really, this was such a treat. Thank you so much for sharing your project with us and your process and the lessons you learned. It was really, really wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much. That's why I'm so proud of you kids. Alrighty, on to consent calendar. Board members, do any of you have questions on tonight's consent calendar? Okay, were there any requests for public comment? No, okay. Public comment is now closed. May I have a motion to, any further comments, questions, board members? May I have a motion to approve tonight's consent calendar as presented? So moved. Thank you, Stella. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Brian. Right, motion to approve tonight's consent calendar as presented was made by Stella and seconded by Brian. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Thank you, everyone. Motion passes unanimous. Can't get the words out to me. Employee request to address the board from Los Altos Teachers Association, Allison White.
Good evening, Allison White for LATA. Two different kinds of comments tonight. Wanted to give just some really positive feedback. I have a lot of teacher roles. Feels like I'm on lots of committees. And I appreciate that opportunity to not only be with my peers from all over, because I'm only just in TKO, but also to be able to kind of see the interactions that are happening now, and especially with our math adoption process, having been involved in that now over kind of a long time. I really want to express appreciation for the fact that as teachers have, as it's become real, right? We've gone through the process and the things that they're expressing, because it's a big deal, right? For us, for teachers to adopt and then get to be good at a new curriculum because they really like being good at what they do. And I've heard conversations in different meetings where the concerns that they have that are just operational concerns, their implementation concerns are really being heard. And I appreciate that because I think feeling at ease knowing these are problems that we will all tackle together, and talking about even unboxing 5 or 6 boxes worth of materials or different ways of organizing materials. Those are the things that keep teachers up at night. And I think starting to feel like we've put those things on the table and that there's a place for that. There's a place to talk through how we support teachers in acclimating to be able to deliver this all good curriculum to students. So I think that process has been very mindful of that in the conversations that have been happening. There's been space for that, which is really, teachers appreciate that very much. It's very reassuring. And the other thing I wanted to let you know is kind of on a similar note in the way that we approach the math adoption with a deep look at the math framework. And really looking at what those guiding documents are from the state to start to say, how does this look? How do we do this? To start, analyzing materials. And I wanted to let you know that I have been appointed by the State Board of Education to be an instructional materials reviewer for the new ELA. It's a ELA/ELD follow-up adoption because of the legislation. I think Alex spoke the last session. All the legislation that's happened recently, the screening legislation, the AB 1454, which is about evidence-based literacy instruction and materials. There's more legislation that had to do with being able to provide funds for structured literacy training. And there's a process going on right now at the state to kind of vet which programs would be ones that the state would reimburse districts for. And I think there's so much good work going on up there, but I just wanted you to know. So I was in Sacramento last week for 3 days, and there are about 250 or so reviewers from all over the state. And it's like being on jury duty almost. It's very what you can use as you're evaluating and what you must stick to. So it's the framework. It's the ELA/ELD framework from 2014, but they have updated guidance in 2025 that then creates a second system for looking and making sure these materials are there, along with Common Core state standards. So I just wanted you to know that's down the road a bit, but I'm excited to be part of that group. And you never force yourself to get that in the weeds until you're doing something like that. And it's interesting to see what's happening there. And last update is on the Eagles. Yeah, thank you, for you. I'm just gonna take a little 2 seconds here. We had eggs get taken away by ravens, the first clutch. She laid Jackie and Shadow. Jackie laid a second clutch of eggs, which hatched on April 5th. And so there are 2 lovely chicks. We also have peregrine falcons in San Jose that we are following as well for our observation of raptors. And it's been really fun to watch the kids, like they change so much, they change so fast. And we could say the same of all of them too. So anyway, thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations, Allison. That's wonderful.
Thank you.
From CSEA, Kimmy.
That's okay.
Righty. To provide public comment on an agenda item, speaker cards are to be submitted to the superintendent. Speaker cards will not be accepted once public comment begins. Your name will be announced when it is your turn to speak. Community comments. This time is reserved for members of the public and employees to address the board on items that are not on the agenda. The board is not permitted to discuss or take action on non-agenda items except to instruct the superintendent to review the matter further, report back to the board at a subsequent meeting, or place the matter on a future agenda. The board may make a brief comment or ask clarifying questions. Do we have any comments on non-agendized items? On this one, okay. Hey, parent. Eric, let's give parent 3 minutes, and just for members at home who are watching or listening, you are not required by law to provide your name, so we'll just address you as parent. Just wait for Eric to let you know when 3 minutes starts.
Go ahead. Yeah, we've recently come across that the 10 site construction is lagging behind by $21 million, so they're raising additional funds for that. I just want to express that we should really evaluate whether we need the 10 site or not, given that there are so many, additional funds that are being needed. Each time we try to, make progress on that site, the enrollment has fallen across LASD, and the BCS could be accommodated within the existing campuses. I just wanted to say that. Thank you.
Thank you. I recommend that you reach out to any of the board members. We would be happy to meet with you and chat further. Okay, moving on. Budget Review Committee report. Okay.
So we have two guests to come present tonight. I want to thank Keith Horn and Kimberly Fletcher. We're going to do a joint communique regarding the budget review committee report out. Thank
you, Eric. Hi, I'm Kate Skirmahorn, and I'm here with Kimberly Fletcher on behalf of the Budget Review Committee to present the 2026 recommendations. The Budget Review Committee includes teachers, classified staff, parents, administrators, and school board members, so that all district stakeholders are represented in this process. We met several times this year to review and discuss the interim and preliminary budget presentations that Eric has also given at school board meetings. At the end of the process, we agree on an annual document that represents our recommendations. That full document is included in the board meeting attachments.
And as represented in previous presentations, the district faces some budgetary challenges, including from our in lieu to Bullis Charter, state unfunded and underfunded programs such as TK, ELOP, and our universal meals, in addition to ongoing economic situations. And so we recommend the district continue with their process of thoughtful staffing reductions through their right size staffing to look for additional places to reduce the budget deficit. And then also our 10 to 20% reserve policy is, or 15 to 20% policy is also essential to continue as an ensure a safety net in future years. We'll happily answer any questions about our recommendations.
Thank you. If anyone, are there any public comment on this agenda item? Okay, very good. Are there any clarifying questions from the board? No, okay, none of that, no public comment. Any further comments? Board members, any questions for?
I just wanted to say thank you for serving on the committee, and Allison as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much. As this is an action item, I'd like to ask for a motion.
Mine, then it's
Yeah,
discussion item.
not a.
So discussion item.
Oh, shoot, I am looking at number 2.
Yeah.
Sorry, block construction is an action item. Never mind. All right, thank you very much. Moving on to our next agenda item, amendment to the block construction contract for the San Antonio campus project.
This is an amendment, the construction contract for block construction for increment 1. They bid out all the subcontractor work for increment 1, which is going to be demolition site utilities. They'll be mobilizing next week at the San Antonio campus. We've been coordinating with the city of Mountain View and PG&E and doing all the shutoffs and things. We also want to acknowledge what a great use of the site. We're very happy to offer it to the robotics program for Mountain View High. There's a nice article in the in Town Crier about it, and then they also came to Rotary and presented to the Rotarians and looking to kind of advocate finding a home. So it was a great use of the site. This contract also is at the all-in cost. That there's some extra allowances for unforeseen conditions, early procurement. The site's been working very hard to work with Federal Realty, some amendments that we did at the previous meeting. To unwind the reciprocal parking agreement has been taken care of. So today is an amendment to the contract. It's an action item, and then also we attach this project schedule. So you can see increment 1 is starting, and then increment 1, 2 is in TSA. We'll be bringing back more consultant contract and things like that in the next couple of meetings. So it's an action item today.
Any clarifying questions? Any requests for public comment? Public comment is now closed. Any further board discussion on this agenda item?
Guys,
Yes, please.
so obviously this is all, work that was always, planned to have, do you have any sense of how this compares to sort of the preliminary estimates of, just for planning purposes about?
Yeah, we're still,
for this work?
we have not gone over the not to exceed amount. This is just allowing them to notice to proceed for just increment 1. It's
Sure.
still within the budgeted amounts.
Right, but so this chunk is costing us what we thought it was gonna
Yes.
cost us in the preliminary plan,
Yes, it
that's
is.
what I was getting.
Yes, no increased change orders or extra cost at this time.
Okay, great, thank you.
Any other questions, comments? Okay, seeing none. May I have a motion to approve the amendment to the block construction contract for the San Antonio campus project?
So moved.
Thank you, Stella. May I have a second?
Full second.
Thank you, Jim. Any further comment? Discussion? No? Okay. Motion to approve the amendment to the block construction contract for the San Antonio campus project was made by Stella, seconded by Jim. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Thank you, everyone. Motion passes unanimously. Board policy updates.
Yes, so a few new board policies coming to you. This is gives you 2 weeks to review. I've already gotten some feedback on one of the concepts and roles. Just some clarification that we want to look at. So as you read them over the next 2 weeks, please let me know if you have any other questions or concerns, and then they'll come back at the next meeting for approval.
Great, thank you. Is there any public comment on this? No public comment. Great. Any clarifying questions, any discussion? Board members?
When I was reading board policy 7131, relations with local agencies, it just reminded me that we had previously discussed the possibility of setting up a committee with Mountain View City Council. And so I was just wondering if, if we've heard back, if we've reached out, sort of what the status is, and I'd still be interested in at least reaching out to them to ask if there's any interest on their end. And there is sort of it seems like from CSBA, a reason to think that it'd be beneficial to both parties, especially regarding the parks and the shared fields at the San Antonio campus.
Then I'll reach out to their current mayor, Emily Ramos, and see if she's interested, and then is that the proper way to do it? That I reach out to the mayor and.
Sure. I don't know if you're looking for a, what was the city schools? Is that what it was called? Subcommittee, city schools, if you're looking for a subcommittee, because Eric is meeting regularly with city staff, but this would be more of a board to board.
Just to,
A relationship.
Yeah, I think.
Because I think when they had one of their meetings, approving changes to the joint use agreement, that they had expressed an interest in having more conversations with us. Just want to reciprocate that.
Yeah, it's a good idea, so I'll follow up with that. Thank you. Any other comments on this agenda item? Okay. Moving on to board and administration comments. Carrie, you want to put the
Sure, thank you. We are in LCAP season, so working on collecting input for our local control accountability plan. We've administered our family survey in English. This week we'll be administering our multilingual survey to all of our families of English learners. We've had it translated into all top 7 of our languages. So we have it in English, Spanish, Chinese, Japanese, Hebrew, Korean, and Russian. And that will be going out to families this week. And then for the first time, we're going to be holding a student ambassador event on Thursday, May 14th here at the district office. And so 2 reps from the 6th grade at every elementary and 4 from both of our junior highs will come together and talk about student experience. Get their input on course offerings, get their input on student support services. What's working, what could we improve? We're excited about that. We've been getting names from all of our different schools for for those kids, trying to get a mix of different students to participate in that event. So I'll be excited to bring a update for you later about that. And I want to thank Kelly Rafferty, who's helping to co-facilitate student ambassador event.
I attended the Joint Powers Authority NCR, which is our insurance, property and liability insurance, and talking with all of our members and colleagues up and down the Northern California, and hearing all the things that are going on in other districts for property and liability insurance issues. We do know the property insurance rates are looking pretty good, but it's the liability rates that we're seeing a spike. So we'll be budgeting about a 10% increase in property and liability insurance for next year. Want to thank Elizabeth, who's been working really hard. We came in and worked a little bit on the weekend for budget prep. May is like our busiest time. I think every time's busy, but I think May is really busy as we're getting ready to go that. Got great news. We applied for a kitchen infrastructure grant with CDE and we received $75,000. So I would love sharing good news with that. So that's great. And that actually will help when we talk about the underfunded mandated universal meals program that will help offset some operational costs. So that's a great thing. We're not sure when we're getting the money, but we're ordered that. I want to thank Allison, Kim and Kate being on BRC. We also have Stella and Brian are on BRC as well. So thank you for being on that. And then last Friday was Lunch Heroes Day. And we acknowledged, I love seeing all those things on the social medias, but it's really nice to honor our food service workers all wearing their shirts. They're honored. We took a lot of nice photos. We really acknowledge all their hard work and really great dedicated CSE members. So thank you.
Just a reminder and a announcement to the public that on the 12th next week, we'll be having a study session around facilities master planning at 9 a.m. So if people want to come or tune in here, yes.
Said 9 a.m.
9 a.m.
Brian?
Love it.
Stella?
Well, yesterday I had the pleasure of attending an event at our board president's house. She's also board president for the Santa Clara County School Boards Association, and it was a reception for trustees in the area.
Thank you, and I'm so glad that you came.
So sorry, I was not able to attend. Yeah, the first one.
He did.
No, I don't have any. I have college team luncheon coming up and Hoffman Awards,
Which you're gonna be speaking now.
which I will be presenting an award. Yeah.
Randy?
I visited Oak last week as the first of a 9 campus
Tour.
tour.
Gonna head to Covington this Friday.
So not only seeing what
Thursday, yes,
fun things they're doing in the classroom, but also checking out the facilities and
Yep.
getting a sense of what's working, what's not as we look towards upgrades.
I just wanted to say that April 29th and May 2nd, I had my equity and education certification class, which is continues to be really enlightening. We're working through the book Cast by Isabel Wilkerson and just really peeling back like how the themes in that book apply to inequity education. So that was really good. April 23rd, the California School Board Association president came and visited our county, and we took her to 4 different districts. I would love to see LASD as a stop, you know.
I sure did notice that we weren't a stop.
I will work on. Yes, what else? Yes, I'm really looking forward to the challenge team lunch and the state of the city's lunch that's this week. I just wanted to say, our next board meeting, May 18th, I have decided that I am not going to try to attend. I will be in New York for my daughter's graduation, and you will be in the very capable hands of our first vice president, Jim Malone. And with that, thank you, everybody, and we'll call it a night.